Inspiration. Nothing happens without inspiration. If you're interested in boat building at this point, you're probably somewhat inspired. I had many inspirations for building this boat starting at a very early age, and I'll go through all of them. Inspiration came early in life for me. I was very fortunate to be born into an adventurous seafaring family. My parents were Jack and Lori Jean Houston, and they met in Jackson, Mississippi in 1939. My father was an aircraft mechanic with the Army Air Corps. He was stationed on the West Coast, where they owned this little 25-foot schooner in Newport Harbor. They had a lot of fun cruising around with the family in the harbor and up and down the coast. My mom and my Aunt Elaine, they had a little sailboat, and it looks like my dad caught a mermaid here. The second from the left is my grandpa, Lawrence Coon. He owned this boat in Newport Harbor for a while. And then he built this boat in a backyard somewhere. I believe he built the trailer it's on out of a truck frame. I believe that's my dad's old 38 Olds towing it. And this must have been an exciting day launching in Newport Harbor. Beginning for me was June 13th, 1944. I'm the baby mother's holding. On the left is a great family friend, Nick Parteau, an Italian mountain man. Taught me how to play guitar and how to live in the mountains. And on the right is Squeaky, another great family friend, a hero of mine growing up, and a boat builder. He built traditional plank wooden boats in Costa Mesa in the 40s and 50s. Before long I had a little sister, Patty. When we was kids, we used to love to play in the skeletons of the boats that Squeaky was building. Squeaky was from Switzerland and built boats in the old way. He used to wear these bloomers that he made himself. I loved hanging around Squeaky's boatyard when I was a kid. He built some really pretty boats, I thought. When Squeaky finished a boat and needed to sea trial it, he'd usually go and get my dad and my Uncle Bill, and they'd head out to Catalina to make sure the boat was working good. These are all boats that Squeaky built. He retired and moved back to Switzerland while I was still in high school, and I sure did miss him. And I sure learned a lot from hanging around his boatyard and watching him build boats. He built the most beautiful boats I've ever seen. This was Aunt Elaine and Uncle Curly's boat, called the Marbola after their 3 kids, Martha, Bob, and Larry. This was Newport Harbor when we was kids. This is Patty and I in a mountain creek. She has one of my favorite toys, my tugboat, and I have a couple of prototype models of my own design. Some things are just too darn much fun to give up. My first boat when I was 9 was a wash tub inside an inner tube, and the handle was my oar locks, made the oars out of planks. I'm on the left here, and the right is my friend Pat. We got the plans for these out of a mag. You strap an inner tube in them, and it held a mast and a rudder and a sail. And my mom would take us to this lagoon in Sunset Beach, and we'd paddle these things around and sail them, and just had a lot of fun. The little rowboat my mom's standing next to, my dad and I built when I was 12. My dad named it the Hacaronius after a monster bug from one of my nightmares. This is Mom and Patty fishing from the Hacaronius in a mountain lake. This is the Dory fishing fleet, Newport Beach, as I remember it when I was a kid. They've been working dories off this beach since the 1800s. No outboards or pickup trucks and trailers back then. This is how they did it when I was a kid. They just drug them across the beach. They'd launch them through the surf, go out and fish in the open ocean, come back, run them up on the beach, and then drag them across the sand by the road and sell the fish right off the boats. I was amazed to find out it's still going on. When Jan and I went to California in the summer of 2007, we went to Newport Beach. This is a Dory fishing fleet in Newport. Next to Newport Pier. These are the boats that inspired the Jani J. Used to come down here when we was kids and parents would buy fish off these boats. They launch them right down there on the beach and retrieve them there. Show it very well. This is one of the later model boats. There's one of the old ones there. Oh, cool.
No, I think it would sink.
Hi, Patty. Hi. My little sis. A lovely Janice Jeanette. And my nephew, Steve.
Yay!
And this is one of the old wooden flat-bottom dories that the side's gone out of it. Well, you can see how it was built.
It looks like it's single ply, no?
It had been glassed over.
That or the catch.
Hey, darling, pretty interesting stuff, huh?
Yeah. There's another old one.
Yeah, here's another old one. This one's in a little better shape. Keel looks like a 2x4. This one's a V-bottom. You got a diagonal intermediate stringer on that one. Yeah, nice big stem. Interesting. I was fascinated by these boats when I was a kid. I thought how cool it would be to get one of these and build a little cabin on it. There's another one. Yeah, these are the old wooden ones that I like so well. Oh, that's got a nice big keel in it. These were the inspirations for the hull of the Jani J. It's been all fiberglassed inside and out. The original wood ones were before they had fiberglass. And there's an old one too. You see the Jani J in these boats?
Yes. Yeah.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
I loved these things when I was a kid. I thought they were just the coolest boats. The newer ones are all fiberglass, but these old wooden ones were the ones that I like. We got a nice big chine log in it. They've all been fiberglassed over.